We all know what a yawn is. We've all yawned before. We've all done it since we were kids. It's not something we have to be taught. It's not something we have to learn. It's just something that we're born to do. We're ingrained to yawn. But the real trick is why we yawn. Not a lot of people fully understand why we yawn. And we really don't understand why, if the person next to me or the person across the room or the person on TV yawns, why we have a tendency to yawn with them. We call this a contagious yawn or a commutative yawn, and it's something really confusing and something that, just adds the mystery of yawns in general. One popular theory that you hear a lot is that it's, we yawn when we need more oxygen. And this makes sense. It makes sense why we would think this. You suck in a bunch of air, you need more oxygen. Well, it's not entirely true. And recent research has actually gone on to give us a maybe peculiar but believable reason as to why we yawn. First of all, let's understand this. Every vertebrate yawns. Almost every animal, warm-blooded, cold-blooded, they yawn. Why they yawn may change. For instance, penguins yawn when they want to attract a mate, or guinea pigs yawn when they're intimidating other members of their species. Snakes yawn to realign their jaws after a big meal. Scientists now believe, and in particular a study by Dr. Mark A.W. Andrews of the Lake Erie College of Osteopathic Medicine, believes that yawning is done to cool our brains. Now this is a bit odd, and you're going to have to hang on with me for a second, but the research actually shows that this is likely the reason why. First of all, yawning, that big suck-in of air that we think is to get more oxygen, is mostly cool air. It cools the blood in our head and helps cool down the temperature of our brain. This is backed up. Scientists did a study where they took individuals and they recorded the frequency of their yawning when they, were in cold environment, a warm environment, and they found that people in a warmer climate tended to yawn a heck of a lot more than those who were colder, meaning that their brains were likely colder and they needed to yawn to cool it down less often. Many people will ask, well, why do we yawn when we're tired then, right? When we need to go to sleep? Well, that's pretty easy to answer too. You see, when we're sleep deprived or need to get some more rest, the internal temperatures in our brain tend to skyrocket. They tend to get really high when we're stressed, when we're tired. So yawning is done when we're tired more often because our brains are hotter. We're cooling our brains more often because we're tired and our brains are hotter. So now we understand why we yawn. The question is why, if the guy on the TV yawns, why am I going to do it too? And this is tied more to empathy, which humans are really well known for having. For instance, if I yawn, some of us will have a tendency to yawn with me. And this, again, is tied to human sense of empathy. Empathy, according to Webster's dictionary, is the action of understanding, being sensitive to, and vicariously experiencing the feelings, thoughts, and experiences of others. Empathy is the ability to step into someone else's shoes and experience what they're experiencing. And humans are particularly good at this. When someone on the TV gets hurt, I get hurt. When someone on the TV is sad, I am sad. When someone on the TV is tired and they yawn, I want to yawn. When the person across the room yawns, I want to yawn. There's also research to back this up. An article published by the U.S. National Library of Medicine found that those who struggle to show empathy, individuals who scored low on tests about how empathetic they are of others' feelings, or in particular individuals who suffer from autism, social disease, condition, disorder, whatever you want to call it, that tends to make it harder for individuals to display empathy. These individuals, these people who suffered with putting themselves in others' shoes, they tended to yawn less often in response to others yawning. And the opposite is true as well. Those who scored extremely well and were extremely empathetic yawned almost twice as much as those who showed these struggles with stepping in other people's shoes. So really that answers the question, you know. Why do we yawn? Well, it's encoded into us. We're supposed to yawn. Why? Because our brains are too hot. We need to cool down. And then also, why do we yawn when others yawn? Because we're empathetic creatures and we feel what those around us are feeling and we want to experience it with them. Thank you.